So yesterday I talked about how when you produce for somebody else, it usually starts with a communication that they're interested in producing, having you produce or direct or whatever, and then it gets more into the nitty gritty with a phone conversation and really getting into collaboration, maybe a meeting or two or a location scout. What happens with a documentary is similar if you are producing for somebody else. It's a very similar initial conversation. Oh, you want to make a documentary about the black bear. What was your take on it? What are your resources? Do you know anyone who, and why are you doing this? And are you connected with some sort of nonprofit, or are they acting as an umbrella to you? And so you have to find that out as a producer before you start going into it, because there might be restrictions and it might go slower as a documentary if they've already started fundraising, and it gets into other types of things. The fundraising is often different, not always, but for fundraising for documentaries can often be different than for narrative. So we're going to talk about today what happens when it's a self-initiated. So the way I do documentary, okay, is I have a lot of things, again, on my roster as a producer that I want to produce. And so they'll just kind of hang there until one says to me, not literally, but we'll go like, ready to go, I'm ready to go. And that's usually the one that I hop on and I start really drilling down hard how I'm going to do it and doing research on it. So usually it's, me kind of tinkering with it in my mind. How would I shoot it? And it doesn't even end up being any kind of thing besides a fragment of a thought in my head. And how would I shoot it? Like, I'm toying with it in my mind. And so once I get a sense that this is something I want to do, and we're going to go on this journey together, because this is the point where I'm at with this one documentary, is, am I going to go woo-woo with this? I'm going to go woo-woo with this. Something synchronous happens where I end up, because I was tinkering with this idea for maybe 3 months, and then I just ended up in an event and talking to people that, sorry, I just had like 10 thoughts in my head. I started talking to people at this event that related to this documentary very strongly. And I was able to say, there was a documentary made similarly about this topic, but the way they did it is completely different than I would do it. And also the situation has changed. And they were like, well, I haven't seen that documentary, but I think it's fine. And I think you guys are on the same page anyway. So they'd be like, you go get them, because it's a similar story I'm telling about this topic and my feeling on this topic. So and I'm not going to actually watch their documentary, because I don't want to be copying at all. I'm not going to do that. All I know is it was made, and I saw the trailer, and that's it. And I was like, that's really different than what I'm doing, so I think I'm okay. So it starts with a tinkering idea, and then it turns into, for me, a door opens, and they're like, yeah, I think it would be great if you made a documentary, and thank you. And I'm like, ooh, okay, yes, this is going. And so then I started corresponding with them on Facebook, and that was great. And so now they're like, here, this is some reference you can start with. So they're referring me to books that they think are really good on this topic, beyond what I already know about this topic, and which I've researched a bit and been involved with a bit. So that's often how it starts for me. It could just purely start for you with the research, because through research you'll find out who you need to talk to. But often if you get one contact or a few contacts, they will help you find the right people to talk to, and they might open that door for you to open it. And if it's a topic that needs attention, usually they'll be like, fling the door open. We need you to talk about this topic and get it in front of people's eyeballs and in their hearts and in film festivals and make people aware. So this is the beauty of documentary filmmaking and what I love about it so much. So I hope this gives you a sense of how to start with that And we'll be talking more about documentary filmmaking because that's the other project I'm producing right now. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow.